After about 10 hours, I 100% the Lawless DLC for Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. So does this DLC redeem one of the worst games of 2024? No, it does not, and somehow makes it even worse. The narrative here is Amanda Waller is attempting to recruit Deadshot's daughter Zoe, known as Lawless. The 18-year-old is a tech expert who can rival Hack and has found Green Lantern's location. Your job is to locate them both and bring them back. The narrative of Zoe's DLC follows a similar pattern to that of Joker and Mrs. Freeze. Zoe, like her predecessors, are portrayed as a caricature, embodying the persona of the eat-the-rich vigilante. Her dialogue is mostly leet speak, her attire resembles that of a Concord character, and her demeanor is a walking stereotype. Despite being 18 years old, Zoe somehow managed to steal Brainiac's gravity technology and escape his fortress alongside Green Lantern. This feat has eluded even the Justice League, with the exception of the Flash, who narrowly escaped with Diana during the main game's events. You heard it right, an 18-year-old was able to best one of the most dangerous and intelligent villains in the DC universe, yet characters like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern could not do the same thing. The Flash barely escaped with Diana. It's just a really stupid concept, and you wonder if anyone actually read their work back to themselves. As for her relationship with Deadshot, it's conveyed this version of Deadshot barely knows his daughter. He doesn't even know how old she is, and he does care about her profoundly and is against her joining and even asking the others to convince Waller not to let her join the Suicide Squad. She joins the squad regardless as a way to rebel against her dad. I'm not joking when I'm talking about this, it's really that stupid, conveying how she's an adult despite speaking down to Amanda Waller about her prison tactics, but willingly joins the fight because it's cool. Even more puzzling is that despite being 18 years old, she has the skills of her father and has no problem mass killing, even taking it as a huge joke just to start murdering things in large quantities. They even bring down Amanda Waller's character, where she explains to Deadshot after recruiting Zoe that she hasn't sacrificed her morals. What are you talking about? She has no morals. Amanda Waller will do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission. She has enslaved children. She enslaved young Poison Ivy and even to an extent Toyman. I mean, yes, Boomerang was the one who implanted the bomb into Toyman, but she never took it out. So she has no problem enslaving children, so I don't really understand why this is in the game where she says she has morals. Amanda Waller has no morals, and that's what makes her such an interesting character. And look, I'm no DC expert, but other portrayals of Deadshot's daughter highlighted as her being the only link Deadshot has to any type of morality. Despite knowing her father was an assassin, she loved him dearly and wanted him to be better, and Deadshot would give his daughter a better life by any means necessary and wanted her to never follow down the path that he does. So the fact that she's even committed any of these types of actions is incredibly painful to Deadshot as a character and even Zoe as a character. As with the previous DLCs, you can purchase the character right away for $10 or choose to grind to level 30 to unlock it. However, even if you buy the DLC, you still need to reach level 30 and complete the prerequisites missions, which are the same missions players have done in the core game, before you can fight Brainiac. Brainiac will take on the form of Superman and Green Lantern using the same tactics as before. The developers did take notes from Mrs. Freeze's DLC and better balance the combat. Snipers and bombarders are still aggressive, but the developers reduced the number of barriers enemies can use. Green Lantern shields have been reduced, so have bombardments, and the experience is better paced. As for the battle pass, it's okay, with Captain Boomerang getting a pretty cool new outfit, but it's still mostly just junk. The changes in the environment have improved from Joker and Mrs. Freeze's DLC. Maybe it's nostalgia talking, but the Batman-themed areas do showcase effort put into them. Instead of just put in a themed paint job like Joker and Mrs. Freeze, there are actual elements of Gotham City here, such as Arkham Asylum, the Gotham City Police Department, and even the bat signal used in Arkham Knight for the Nightfall Protocol. But now let's actually talk about Lawless. Lawless' character design borders on absurdity. Her running animation resembles that of Jimmy Jr. from Bob's Burgers, with an exaggerated gangly gait that seems to defy a semblance of how a normal person would run. The absurdity is further amplified by her double jump, which involves her propelling upward like she's farting to gain momentum. It's as if the animators were intentionally trying to create the most pathetic movement possible, and they succeeded beyond their wildest imaginations. But Lawless' flaws don't stop there. Her traveling animation is a sight to behold. Imagine a character by flailing their arms and legs while doing flips using gravity technology in an uncoordinated manner. I still cannot believe someone animated this, tested this, and decided to implement it. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. The design team behind Lawless's character clearly had a specific vision in mind, to create the most pathetically designed person possible while still attempting to maintain some idea of what they think is cool, and they failed. Horribly. Lawless's clothes are a testament to this goal. She sports a pair of suspenders that hang loosely off her waist. This, coupled with a discount Star-Lord vest and mom jeans, completes her questionable fashion sense. Every aspect of Lawless's character design, from her awkward animations to her questionable clothes, contributes to the overall impression of this character, who is hopelessly out of place among criminals known for murder and other violent crimes. She's a walking contradiction, a bizarre amalgamation of what someone out of touch thinks is cool and simply pathetic and endearing. And of course, she's a social media influencer. I honestly did not think Suicide Squad could get worse, but somehow the developers topped themselves. The cherry on top of this horrible episode is that it is themed after Catwoman, someone who in every way is superior to Lawless and would have been an incredible addition to the game. Seeing how Catwoman responds to Batman dying and everything that transpired would have been absolutely brilliant. But they brought in this pathetic excuse for a character and expect us to be okay with it. It is just purely terrible. And yes, the Riddler is back with more trophies and challenges because of reasons. I don't even know why the Riddler's here. I really didn't think they could top the Mrs. Freeze DLC in poor quality, but somehow they did, and they did it in a spectacular way. Lawless is a Concord character in the Batman Arkham universe that directly contradicts the entire atmosphere, presentation, and quality of those titles. She's boring, pretentious, and childish, with the only redeeming quality being her AoE attack, which is the same as Joker and Mrs. Freeze, only with a different animation. It's just an AoE gravity attack. The Mrs. Freeze DLC was bad, however Rocksteady managed to outdo themselves with the Lawless DLC and set a new low for the Batman Arkham franchise in so many spectacular ways. Lawless is a Concord character who is completely out of place in the Batman Arkham universe. Her design is poor, her dialogue is cringeworthy, and she's out of place among the Suicide Squad. She feels like a character from a completely different game, and her inclusion in the DLC is just baffling when you have so many other characters. Literally, your episode is themed after Catwoman. Just put Catwoman in the game. Take the model from Arkham City or Arkham Knight and just put it into the game. It wouldn't be that hard. She is already brilliant. She has a whip. There's your traversal attack. She has an incredible character model. There it is. She has a great personality. There it is. It's just really confusing. In addition to her poor character design, Lawless is also incredibly boring to play as. Unlike Joker or even Mrs. Freeze, who are fun for a good decent while, and she's not even powerful enough to compete with Joker. Her combat abilities are uninspired. Her AoE attack is nothing more than a rehashed version of Joker and Mrs. Freeze's special attack, and her traversal ability is stupid. It is painfully stupid. Perhaps the most disappointing thing about Lawless DLC is that it contradicts the entire atmosphere and just presentation of the Batman Arkham games. These games were known for their dark and gritty tone. The Lawless DLC just throws out of the window everything that made those games incredible for silly and stereotypical behavior that feels like a parody than a serious addition to the series. I would say this is the low point of the entire Suicide Squad game, but somehow they keep topping themselves. And I cannot wait to see how they top themselves out of just genuine curiosity. Seriously, I don't even know what else to say about this. This Lawless DLC is true trash, and everything that's wrong with the Batman Arkhamverse can be summed up with Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.